Hey everybody, I want to thank you for watching in today. Tracy D and Curtis T here to talk a little bit about football and what we think about what's going on around the country. We're going to open up with Tracy and his upset pick of the week. So we'll hand it off to Tracy.
Thank you, Curtis. Good to see you again this week.
you.
And I'm going to start off with the injury report. I'm going to go through this real quick. Injury report, we got Arizona with 5 defensive players out. Both safeties, a cornerback, a defensive end, and a defensive tackle. So that's something to consider. Iowa State's quarterback is still out. North Carolina still has 8 players suspended through this week because last week got canceled. Okie State has a wide receiver out. Wisconsin has several injuries on defensive line and the linebacker, which was just downgraded today to out. So they're going to be hurting a little bit on defense. Ohio State has Nick Bosa out and possibly Robert Landers. That's 2 big-time starters for them. And Oregon State, their quarterback's listed as probable, but he has a spine fracture, so I'm saying he's probably going to be out. Now let me get to my upset of the week. Actually, we both got 2 upsets of the week this week. And number one, before I get to the upset of the week, let me just give it up to Curtis. There's not too many people that you watch would have outright picked LSU. I thought that they were going to cover. I thought it was going to be a close game. But man, you called it. You said they were going to upset Auburn, and that was a bold prediction, and it dang sure happened.
Well, it dang sure did. You know, we looked at LSU last week as a stronger, hungrier team. And when we see that, you got to watch out for the team that has nothing to lose. They had everything to gain, absolutely nothing to lose. So I always bet on a team that has nothing to lose. They're going to go all out every play, and that's exactly what happened this last week. So it was, to me, probably one of the easier picks that I'd made as far as a big upset like that.
Yeah.
So as far as upsets go, what's your first upset of the week?
And we were 4 out of 5 on our locks.
On our locks.
Man,
Good
if
job.
I was a betting man, boy, I'd have been, I probably could have bought a candy bar and take my wife out to dinner this week. Anyway, so my number one upset is going to, and I know Curtis ain't gonna, we don't always agree on this. Look, North Carolina's got 8 players out. They got a couple other injuries, and they got all these people suspended, and they're trash, and they can't beat most good high school teams. And last week they had a hurricane, and they're worrying. And Pitt's favored by 4. No way North Carolina can be in this game. Not only are they going to be in the game, North Carolina's going to win this game. Somehow, some way, North Carolina's the only thing they got going for them is this game. So I'm going to pick North Carolina.
You must have some inside information that I don't know anything about. North Carolina, to me, has not played anywhere near decent all year long.
No.
And it's with eight players still out, suspended, I don't see how they could even compete in this game. I know that Pitt's not one of the better teams in the league, but they're far superior to North Carolina, and I don't see that. But I've not seen things in the past that happened too, so I'm not going to tell you to bet either way. I just think that that Pitt probably will cover. Okay, my upset of the week. Washington State is going to come into USC. USC's -4, and I don't see that they'll compete with Washington State. Mike Leach's offense is extremely fast, extremely accurate, and I think it'll be a 35-21 ball game. Washington State beating USC at home.
I can't disagree with that. Washington State's got a better team than USC. That probably will happen. I know you got another real good upset though.
Yes, I do. That'll be the number 7 Stanford and number 20 Oregon. This is a speed against size team. I know size matters, but speed kills. Stanford will be able to push them around a little bit for a while, but there's nothing that comes anywhere close to speed. Oregon's speed on the ends, I think they'll eat them up all day long. I think Oregon at home beats Stanford 31-24, covers. I think that's a good solid pick.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It's going to come down, like you said, power against speed. And if Stanford can run the ball, Oregon's in for a long day. But Stanford couldn't run the ball against San Diego State.
No.
They just haven't been able to. They got big hosses up front. I don't know what the problem is. But Oregon is, yes, they're much a team like TCU. They are fast.
Very.
We see what happens when a team goes fast. So my other upset of the week. First, let me apologize, all you Oklahoma State fans. Kind of made fun of you with the guns a-blazing and this and that. You went and handled business. Boise
State.
Playing Boise State. I thought for sure Boise State would win that. And this week, you're favored by 13.5. You open up Big 12 season. There's no way Tech wins this game. 2 touchdowns. Well, let me tell you, Tech, host of them guns again, because Tech is going to win. Not only are they going to cover, Tech is going to win this game. Tech had over 700 yards of offense last week. In the last 2 weeks, they scored 140 points. And Oregon State, they can't stop a stiff win. So, so I got Tech in my upset of the week.
You got Tech as the upset of the week.
Plus 13.5.
Not so fast, my friend. Tech is capable of smoking just about any team around, and that includes Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State must have their A game running. I know they looked unbeatable last week against Boise State.
They did.
And I thought they looked sharp. Their play was crisp. So to me, it's going to be a track meet. I think that the score is going to be outrageous. I would take the over. I think it's 80.
Yeah, it's right about that. That would be a good bet, the over.
The over on that is, to me, would be the bet of the week. I like both those teams. They both score a lot of points. It'll be fun to watch. But I think Tech could actually, Oklahoma State could actually beat Tech in this one if they look as sharp as they did last week against Boise. You got to stay hungry. Okay, my two-star bet of the week is going to be number 19 Michigan in a romp over Nebraska. Nebraska, I'm sorry, but I have had so much respect for you over the years playing against OU in the big rivalry. But man, the quality of the team that you have this year would not match up with your third string of years past. And Scott Frost, man, you're on the hot seat already. And I know this is not your team, but you got to get out there and coach them up, try to get some wins, because I know exactly what Nebraska people will do. They fired Bo Pelini at 9-2.
Yeah.
So Scott Frost, you lose 5 games, you're liable to be looking for employment elsewhere. So that'd be another 2-star bet of the week. Michigan minus 19. I look at that score being somewhere around 35-10.
All right. Well, just can't take the skunk weasels. And hey, here's a little bit of trivia for you. This is a fact. There's no joke. Nebraska's first name was the Bug Eaters. True story. They were the Nebraska Bug Eaters. So I'm going to have to take the Bug Eaters. Now, I'm staying away from that game, but I just believe Scott Frost will get something rolling. He's going to put some offense up and outsmart Harbaugh. So I'm not going either way on that. I'd have to agree with you. I just couldn't. If I was a betting man, I couldn't bet on the skunk weasels.
Well, I understand your personal problem with the skunk weasels, but that's going all right. Okay, this is my lock of the week, and this is going to be North Texas minus 13 over Liberty. Liberty, if I was you, I'd stay home. They're going to beat you up, they're going to beat you down, and they're going to hit you hard, and they're going to cause some injuries. I look at this game, a blowout at 54-7, a major blowout.
Good lock. That's a good lock. Good lock. So my lock is on the over and under, and that's it is my 5-star lock of the week. So here's the deal. I already done said Oregon's lost 5 defensive players. They were just downgraded to out. They already are trash on the defense. I mean, they haven't sniffed a win yet.
No, they haven't.
And so Oregon State, I mean, at least they have an offense. They don't have much of a defense, but they got a great offense. This score will be in the triple digits. You can, as a matter of fact, the first team to score 70 may be the winner here. Or the last team with the ball. But the over and under is 75. 5-star lock of the week. Over.
This, again, is another track meet. Neither team knows how to play defense. I think it looks like they play with 9 on each team on defense because someone's always out of position. Both teams. I've watched them both. I look at them, I go, how do they get that open? You know, so to me, another track meet. The over, I take it, is going to be the biggest play of the day. Okay. I'm going to look at my second lock of the week. Is going to be Virginia Tech minus 28 over Old Dominion. Old Dominion, I don't know if you got 70-year-old people playing, but that's what gives you the old part. But they got beat up by Liberty last week, and you know what I think about Liberty.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a 37-7 ball game. They're going to cover easily. A second lock of the week.
All right, good pick. My second lock of the week would be Iowa State. Look, Iowa State's playing Akron. Yeah, Akron beat Northwestern last week. They Northwestern went up 21-3, I think it was, and then fell apart. All kinds of turnovers and block punts and everything else.
5 turnovers.
Yeah. So that ain't gonna happen against Oregon State. And Oregon State, they coming off a loss to OU. They'll be fired up. Iowa State. Akron is probably still high from beating Northwestern. That's the first time since like the 1800s they beat a Big Ten team, I think it was.
Yep.
So
first win.
They're on a high. Iowa State's coming in there to handle business. And I got Iowa State covering by 21 points. That's my 3-star lock of the week.
Okay. On Friday night, UCF. That's Josh Heupel's team. They'll be going against the Lane Kiffin team in Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic played OU this year and held their own. I thought they made a good showing, but UCF, that's Central Florida, has a lot to prove. You know, when you go 12-0, 13-0, and you're not in the national championship race, you're upset. You're pissed off. So, you know, they got a lot to be upset about. I think they'll run up the score, and I think they'll show people that they are a team to be reckoned with. And I think Josh Heupel's a great offensive mind, and I think he'll get the job done. So I'm going to go with UCF 63. Florida Atlantic 24.
And what are they favored by?
13.5.
13.5. So here's the deal. Yeah, I think they're pissed off too. But I mean, you got to schedule somebody. It's better to be mad than mad and wet.
Yeah, mad and wet.
Hey, they're playing Florida Atlantic. This is for recruits. These kids have played against each other probably their entire life. Pop Warner High School and everything else.
Everything.
And I just believe that Lane Kiffin's going to pull something out of his hat. And I don't believe these kids are going to get stomped by their next door neighbor or whoever it is, somebody they've been playing all week. I believe they're going to man up. That being said, I'm not going to bet. I believe UCF, like you, is a much better team than 2 touchdowns, better than Florida Atlantic. Just the unknown factor, I guess. That's just Florida kids playing against Florida kids, and I think they'll play them tough.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So you want to talk about the OU Army game?
Well, there's one I want to talk to you about first. And that's the team I feel sorry for the most. That's Arkansas. Arkansas, man.
Do they still got a team?
Yeah. Fayetteville town is crying right now.
Pig suey.
Suey, yeah, but they're not saying suey.
They're saying pewee.
Pewee. Auburn has a they're pissed. They got upset by LSU just this last week, and I can guarantee you, coach is going to come in and say a lot of bad words, and they're gonna take it out on poor Arkansas. I look at this as a 63-10 ball game, and I would lay the points here. You're going to have a lot of terrible Tigers eating at your heels. Arkansas, run when you can.
Tigers eat pigs anyway, don't they?
On a daily basis.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Well, the last game we're going to talk about is OU Army. We both agree Army's runs a wishbone, and here's the thing: they try to eat the clock. They could be down by 4 or 5 touchdowns. They're still going to run the wishbone. If they get a few first downs, they're going to eat some clock, and it's kind of unpopular to run up the score against the service academy. So I don't think OU will. I think if they do get ahead and cover, if they get, what's the spread, 28, 30?
30.
So if they do get ahead, and they pull their first string, put in their second and third string, Army leaves their first string in and maybe gets a late touchdown or two and covers. That being said, I wouldn't bet either way, but it's almost another lock to go under 62.5.
I totally agree. With Army running the wishbone, well, they don't run the wishbone, they run the option, the triple option. And OU hasn't seen that in I don't know, probably 25 games. They haven't seen an option team in quite some time. Army runs it proficiently, and it's going to take Oklahoma a little while to adjust to it. The speed of Oklahoma, again, speed kills. So Army will get some yardage. They will run their plays. They'll have to run some reverses to negate the speed of Oklahoma. I think that Oklahoma will cover. I think it'll be a 43-7 ball game, but with an under of 62, I think it's the bet to take this week. If you're going to bet the Oklahoma game, take the under. Well,
that's all we got.
That's all we've got today. It's a pleasure seeing you again, and we will see you again next week about the same time. You have a great day, and bet wisely, and if you can't afford it, don't bet at all.
Amen. Hey, and I made one mistake. Let me clean this up. We were 4 out of 5 with one tie. Now I had Ohio State minus 12, and they won by 12, so we're calling that a tie. It depends where some people had them at 11.5, some had them at 13, so it was so close. It depends on where you had them. I think Curtis counted that as a loss, not a win. Hey, peace out, guys.